Folks, hi. Welcome to our special Twitch stream we're going to be doing for Extra Life. This is going to be money that we're going to be asking you guys to donate. And to start things off, we're going to go to extralife.org/team/Raptr. They're the ones that we're doing this stream for. And today we're going to do a stream of Dragon Age Inquisition, which is coming out this November 18th, in fact. And with me is Cameron Lee.
Hello.
He's like my stream buddy.
Yeah.
So we're told, and you will be some disembodied voices as well. We have Connell Pierce here helping us out, making sure everyone sounds good, and Patrick Demkew, who is, I believe, at Miracle Worker because he really desperately wants more Twitter followers. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Mike.
You should follow him on Twitter.
You should, or don't. I mean, whatever. It's cool. Anyway, Patrick is going to be looking at questions on the stream. We're going to have those coming in. And I was talking to Cameron before we started, and one thing we want to do is take a look at the game and kind of give a bit of an overview, because we figure there might be some people watching because you guys are following the Extra Life stuff. Maybe you've never even seen Dragon Age before, so we're going to make sure we talk about the game a little bit at a high level. But for those of you who've been following along our streams past little while, it's going to be kind of cool because we're going to go somewhere new.
That's right, yeah. It's actually the first time we're going to be showing this location, so a bit of a reveal. But it's for a good cause, right? You know, like having the ability to donate to Extra Life and through the Children's Miracle Network is pretty cool. So I think it's a worthy cause to show some new areas of the game.
Yeah, no, it totally is. And I mean, you know, children are the future. And I'm pretty sure my little buddy is at home watching. Can we break into song? No, dance. Coordinated dance number to finish the stream. Right. But no, I mean, my kiddo's probably at home watching right now.
I have no kid.
Oh, no?
No.
You will someday, I bet.
Yeah, one day.
All right. You're very virile. So, that said, we should probably get into the game. Do you want to talk at a high level what Inquisition's all about and what we're doing here?
So Inquisition, Dragon Age Inquisition, it's a third in the series of games that Bioware's been making. This is definitely the first big AAA next-gen RPG that Bioware's created. So it's this huge world, massive story, set in a very dark fantasy world, and it's a party-based game. So you have your character who's the Inquisitor, but you also get to meet a lot of really interesting characters along the way.
Yeah, and recruit them, equip them, train them, and then work together, coordinating all four of them in combat. And we'll show, once we get out into the game itself, how that works. There's multiple interfaces for that. Anyway, it's really kind of the DA game we've always wanted to make.
It really is, absolutely incredibly deep. And you know, the word Inquisition is referring to the fact that you form an Inquisition, you form this organization to uncover the truth about a lot of chaos that's been happening in the world. So.
Yeah, that's our fun twist on the hero's journey. You don't just join up with someone. This time you're building it from the ground up. So that's been kind of fun. And of course, we're right near the end. We do come out November 18th in North America, November 21st in Europe. And we're just winding down. The team's putting the last few touches, hammering on the last few bugs we found. QA is working like triple time. They're working so hard. So thanks,
if we look
guys.
like crap, then that's why. Cause
yeah, we're all fighting a mild infection of some sort. Yeah, it's lovely. But that's enough about us.
It is. Let's jump into the game.
So who are we playing? Who have we got here?
So this is my dwarf. So it's a male dwarf warrior who I've spec'd out to be defensive, so a sort of a shield defensive warrior. I've crafted a really cool mace rather than a sword for this particular character.
Do you want to hop in inventory and show it off?
Yeah, I'll show that off. So there's my dwarf, tattooed up, which is pretty cool. You can see here...
So those are custom tattoos, those are dwarf-only tattoos.
Dwarf-only tattoos, yeah. So you can see I've created this deadly club.
Did you name it that?
That wasn't no, but you can name each item that you craft in the game. This one was just the name that it came up with. I'm not particularly creative, Mike.
Okay, fair enough.
But you can see there some of the cool things. There's different stats, so crit damage bonus, which was based on the materials that I used when I crafted that mace. There's also a couple of empty slots there where you can insert different enchantment runes and a different sort of hilt or haft on the
yeah, and those will change the appearance of the items. So if you put an enchantment on there that's frost, it will actually have a nice frost effect as you run around and go whap people in the face.
Exactly. So there's also, there's like one-handed weapons and two-handed weapons, staves, things like that, daggers, bows, shields, a whole bunch of different stuff in there. And then of course there's armor, which you can then insert arms and legs into as well, similar to the weapons. And there's a whole bunch of different slots for accessories and rings like that as well. So.
Yeah, actually, something new we hadn't done in the previous DAs is rings that specifically enhance your abilities. So the lunge and slash ring. Lunge and slash is an ability a warrior can learn, so you can equip that. It will actually make it more effective, do more damage, or have a longer stun effect, or whatever the description says.
Yeah, and actually that's a good point because I've built this character to be a tank. I'm going to equip this enhanced challenge ring because that's going to help me draw aggro.
Right. So yeah, that'll force them to target you for a longer period of time. Always useful. Right.
Yep. Okay, so let's get going. So what we're going to do is, this is a location in Haven, but I'm going to go in some of my war council here, and we're going to use the war table to get access to a new area of the world.
Now, we've shown this a few times. The war table is basically the heart of the Inquisition.
It is.
For anyone who hasn't seen it before, essentially you come here, you have a group of advisors who they're not like active party members, but they're basically coordinating your soldiers, your spies, and your diplomats. They offer ways you can level up. We have a whole bunch of locations around the world, and you can do both follow-up kind of story items where oh wow, because you did this, now people are petitioning you to do X.
Yeah.
But also you can send all your scouts out to go to new locations.
Exactly.
Which is what we're
going to do now. Yeah. So we're going to go into the Storm Coast, and the Storm Coast is, as you can see on the map, it's really, I guess, a real deep wilderness area.
Right.
It's very much on the coast, and it's not particularly populated.
And we're looking after the wardens in this case. We're trying to hunt them down. We haven't seen them. The wardens are, of course, a massive organization dedicated to fighting a group of bad guys called the Darkspawn. They were kind of central to Dragon Age Origins, and we want to make sure that we touched on the warden experience to some degree in Inquisition as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we did there is we asked Liliana to send her scouts out to get access to this area, set up a forward camp, which we can then travel to and start exploring this area. So we're going to accept that report, and we can quick travel there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a slightly different party than what we normally do.
Okay.
We're going to take Blackwall.
Nice.
So
he's a warden, so he has
a
a vested interest in this place.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Right. Yep. And I'm going to take Sarah as well, who's an elven rogue. Now, I've actually spec'd her as a dagger rogue this time round. Right. So the followers can be spec'd either with their initial sort of weapons, but of course you can put whatever weapons you want on them. So I've spec'd her as a dagger rogue, and I'm also going to take Vivian, who's a
Very nice.
Alright.
Yeah, Vivian's one of the basically the top enchanters from the original Circle of Magi.
Yep.
One of the major themes through Inquisition is that the mages have recently sued for their freedom, and that's created a massive ripple effect throughout the world. Oh, hey, these are always fun. Oh,
now you showed a couple of those companions there. Are any of the companions tough to find?
So you start with a subset enough to build a full party. But the other companions are actually earned sometimes via questing, sometimes via major story beats, and sometimes you have to dig them down. Are they tough to find? I wouldn't say like super sneaky hidden, but you do have to earn them.
You do, and some of them can also leave you as well.
Yes, they can, yeah. They all kind of silently track how they feel about the choices you've been making.
Yep.
I would have sent word sooner, but our efforts have been delayed.
How so?
There's a group of bandits operating in the area. They know the terrain, and our small party has had trouble going up against them. Some of our soldiers went to speak with their leader. Haven't heard back, though.
So is this the first time we've shown male dwarf?
It is the first time we've ever shown male dwarf, I believe.
So of note, John Curry, who voices the male dwarf, we have two different voices you can choose from based on male or female. You can pick either accent because they're both American and British.
Yep.
John Curry was a member of the cast for Dragon Age Origins, and he's presenting as the dwarf here. In Origins, though, he was Zevran.
Okay.
He sounded Spanish. He was an elf.
Yeah.
He was much higher in tone. He sounded like this. Hello. Kind of Antonio Banderas. And here it's like, hi, freedom, Inquisition.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I really love the range he has. And his audition, when it was brought before us by Caroline Livingstone, who's our casting director, she was like, no, I'm not even gonna tell you who this is.
Oh, yeah?
Because she didn't want us to kind of, oh, no, we can't do Zevran, because he sounded nothing like him.
Yeah.
So when we respond, of course, you'll get to hear a little bit more of that. And, of course, we have Scout Harding here, who is like the leader of our forward scout. She's always the first one in, sets up the camps and that kind of stuff.
The murder queen.
she's a little deadly.
I'll do what I can to find our people.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's a relief. The soldiers didn't have an exact location for the bandits, but they were starting their search farther down the beach. With all this fuss, we haven't been able to conduct a proper search for the wardens either. Well, good luck, and enjoy the sea air. I hear it's good for the soul.
Good for the soul? Is that code for it's going to be rainy and crap.
It's going to be, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, so I mean, that's one of the fun things is because we have a party with you. Oh, hey.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be a problem for later.
Yeah.
Because we're level 5, so it's not a problem for right now.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We are. This is very early in the game as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
level 5 at the
I
moment.
say seaweed. How do I know seaweed?
So I'll talk about that in a
Yeah,
sec. Go,
yeah.
Talk about level 5, though.
So yeah, level 5. So basically, what I've done so far is I've gone through the prologue, leveled up a little bit, had an opportunity to start investing in some of the character skills. If I bring that up really quickly, and I can show you what I've done with each of the characters here. So my main character, my Inquisitor, I've definitely spec'd into a defensive warrior, as I mentioned. So then we've got Vivian, who I've spec'd into.
Looks like a mixture.
Pretty much a mix of
ice and defense?
Exactly,
Yeah.
ice and defense. And then I picked the energy barrage because I found a ring that boosts energy barrage as well. So I thought that's pretty
Yeah, that's very nice. And actually, the nice thing about energy barrage as well, it's very flexible because it essentially unleashes your staff's energy.
Yeah.
And staffs have different elements to them.
Yeah.
So if you want to, like, I really need a big hitting fire one because I'm up against a demon that does cold damage.
Yeah.
I can swap staves, and then that's another ability that picks up off of that.
exactly. Sarah, I've invested in, as I mentioned, double daggers.
Right.
So
Kinda
some really
break-
cool abilities there.
Break in the mold. I like
Exactly,
it.
and I've also, of course, thrown in the ability to stealth, and also I was starting to work my way down to this knockout powder,
Yeah.
which puts some enemies to sleep.
That's great because, again, takes them out of the fight as long as no one damages them.
Exactly.
And we built the AI to recognize that, which is always fun.
Yep, and then for Blackwall, what I did is start to invest down
Oh, nice.
into more of a support warrior. So I wanted to get Horn of Valor, which is going to give
Right.
a damage and armor bonus to the whole party. Because
Inspiration.
Grey Wardens are about, or particularly Blackwall, it's very much about,
Yeah.
I'm going to be, help everyone, and Grey Wardens sort of...
Yeah, he's interesting because he's basically a warden recruiter, right? He
Yes.
kind of walks the land and being an inspiration and pulling people in, which really adds a lot of elements to his character.
Yep.
And it's kind of neat that you're kind of building in that vein. It's
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. And so this is our initial camp, Inquisition camp. We can see our soldiers here. There's tables up here for us to equip the potions and do requisitions and things like that. So what you can do through the course of the game is you can find other locations to put your Inquisition camps and push your forces through the world, which is really neat.
Now we got some questions about the inventory.
Okay.
Whenever you're swapping out clothing and things, does that appear on your character?
Absolutely. In fact, I know Sarah's wearing some custom armor right now.
Yes.
We could go take a quick look at that before we get to some gameplay. We should go high and look at the water too, because
And-
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
What about helmets? Are we able to show a helmet during the cinematics or hide helmets for companions?
oh, sure, yeah. Okay, so Cam, let's maybe
Right
look
now
at
I've got-
Sarah's inventory.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so hiding helmets is a global setting. It's something you can turn on for the whole party. It hides helmets in all cases. In most cinematics, conversations where you're getting up potentially close, the characters automatically take their helmets off. So it's
Yeah.
fun to have them on when you're adventuring, and then they come off for talking. But yeah, in terms of like, hey, can I swap their appearance? Because that's something that we wanted to make sure that you could customize your character. So that's something we wanted
Yeah.
to go big on. This is Sarah's kind of basic appearance, no armor. She's not looking super defensive, little natty. And this I love. I really love that you actually. This is not crafted, but you looted.
Yeah.
Inquisition scout armor. So
Yeah.
this is like what your scouts wear. But again, you notice it's not the same color as the guys at camp because it's using different materials. So it's got
Exactly.
that awesome kind of
Yeah.
red, and you can craft armor using like, I want to use onyx and like this patterned cloth, and
Yeah.
you'll end up with a different color armor as a result.
Yeah.
Even though it fundamentally looks the same.
Exactly. So this armor is a little bit different, looks like. Sorry, in terms of stats. So it's got 83 armor.
Right.
And a bit more willpower, but I kind of prefer this.
So you're making an aesthetic choice at
I'm
this
making
point?
an
Yeah.
aesthetic choice.
Well, that
So-
one looks really good, and
Yeah.
it's one of the armors that's kind of a full body armor. It covers everything. There are other types of armor that have those upgrades you showcased earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got the best daggers that I could find at this level. As I mentioned, it's quite a low level party, but
You're almost just starting out. I would
pretty
say,
much, yeah. So, and this area you can get to. It's an entirely optional area, so it's one of our exploration areas.
Yeah.
All right, some battle going on there between factions. I don't want to get involved in that just yet. I might do it later on, let them fight it out.
Well, there's spoilers on that one. So
There are also
and
spoilers.
I've promised some folks we wouldn't be spoiling things today.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, look at this water. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love this water. We grabbed this from Battlefield.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Modified it, and the artists here have done a lot of work on it.
It's
looks
one of the
absolutely
big
gorgeous.
advantages of working with dice on the on the feed is that we've been able to share a lot of our tech.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of stuff the Battlefield games have never done, and conversely, they had already built some stuff like the raw rendering engine, but of course, this water effect is something that they built, and I remember one time where I was in this level, I was up, we'll probably get to one of the nice high areas, and just staring at the water, and our art director, Matt Goldman, our level art lead, Ben McGrath, and one of our senior level artists were all in the room, and they were talking about future plans and that kind of stuff, and they all kind of went quiet.
Yeah.
Because they're like, wow. Like, even they were like, okay, that's a really nice vista.
Yeah.
So again, folks, if you're joining us just now, I know some people are signing in and out, and we've got some questions coming in. We are doing this today for Extra Life. This is available. You can really track it because we're doing it for Raptr. So extralife.org/team/Raptr, RAPTR. And what we're doing today is basically gathering together donors, showing off Inquisition to get you guys excited about it, but also so that we can raise money for a good cause. This is going to the Children's Miracle Network, helping the kids out. And, there's a bit of an incentive. The top 5 donors are going to receive the Never Settle Space Edition. You can look at the Raptr site to get a sense of what that is.
Yeah.
They actually just let us know that they're going to be doing a raffle of a gaming PC to those who raise, over $100. And that's courtesy of AMD, CyberPower PC, Gigabyte, XFX, Astro, and Myonix. I hope I said that right. So all of those are part of the thing. And one last plug, the Raptr guys are doing something really cool. During the stream, at some point, they're giving away a code that can get you a Never Settle Space Edition, which basically lets you pick some games, and you get them for free, which is kind of cool.
It is cool.
Yeah. There we go. So back to the game.
Back to the game, yeah. So we're coming up. I'm just going to bring up the map really quickly. So what we're trying to do here is uncover where some soldiers have been missing and some Grey Wardens. So this area here is basically where our scouts have told us to go and have a search around this area, look around, try and find stuff. Exactly, yeah. So
now,
we're getting pretty close.
If you don't mind, because we've been running for a little bit here, can we maybe zoom around the map a little bit? Yeah. So again, spaces in Inquisition are exceedingly large.
Yes.
We've built a vast multi-region open world, one that lets you move between coasts like this, more of a Canadian Shield for those of you from Canada, style area in the hinterlands. There's icy mountaintops, there's deserts, you name it.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to get that strong visual variety, make sure people could, in some ways, almost get like a break. Like, hey, wow, I want to... I'm getting a little tired of deserts. Let's move around.
Yeah.
And there's lots of content at different level bands. It doesn't scale. You can see right here, we're up against not too tough enemies at this point, but if you came here at a very high level, you'd be able to just waltz through these guys. Or if you came here
absolutely.
even a little lower, it'd be tough.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're not on the beach anymore, but we have a couple of people wondering what happens if you go for a dip wearing plate mail.
So we've actually got a fair amount of questions. Yes, so we did not go for swimming for Inquisition.
No.
It's something we're actually keen to look at for future iterations, but we had jumping, open worlds, but we had a bunch of stuff we wanted to tackle for this game. So we said, okay, swimming's not really the top priority.
No.
So basically, if you go swimming, you hear kind of a gurgling sound, and you end up kind of washed back up on the beach, and you can restart from there.
Yeah. Now, of course, you can play the game in I guess, action mode, which was what we were initially doing there, and then I've swapped in here to the tactical view, which lets you really have a think about the battlefield and lets you look around, see what enemies you're fighting. The more you learn about the enemies, the more you'll see in this sort of little stat here. So you'll be able to see whether they're weak to cold or whether they're taunted, etc. And you've got complete control over this tactical camera now, which is really neat. So being able to zoom in really close.
And you can advance. Whoa, yeah, that's a nice shot. Also, I love the way the rain is actually paused.
Yeah, isn't it?
And you're kind of moving between the raindrops. It's all Matrix.
Yeah, it is Matrix. I feel like Neo right now.
Yeah, you are the one. No, not the one.
I'm really not.
No.
And then you can issue orders to your party. So you can flip around here, and I might tell, say, Sarah to go and use Twin Fangs on this archer over here.
And that, of course, will set her basic attack target as well, so she'll continue to focus on that guy, kind of be sticky. You're like, okay, go use an ability on him, but then she'll continue fighting.
Exactly right. And then we might do a...
You're too far. You're out of range.
I'm out of range, okay. Alright. And then I can allow time to keep going, and they'll go and execute those tactics and those commands, which is very neat.
Yeah,
then you can port any time again. Yeah. Alright. Okay, now I'm back into more of an action sort of view. Alright, you can also see we've got some barriers on here. So Vivian, who I'd built to be a little bit supportive, she's cast a barrier on us that helps mitigate some of the damage there. Alright, so now we need to look around for some clues.
And after you clear an area of enemies, are they going to respawn?
Yeah, there are major encounters, so like ones that are kind of fixed. So the dragon in the area will not just keep popping back up and reappearing.
Yeah.
But in the case of an area that's infested with bandits, or where darkspawn are coming out of the ground, or anything along those lines, you will get a steady stream of that. The way we've built the system, though, is that it's like almost like an ecology happening. So the game is constantly tracking the effects you've had on an area. If you've basically depopulated the area of bandits, then the spawn rate will drop way down for a period of time, and then climb back up. So if you leave the area and come back, they'll have respawned as time passes.
That's right.
So the end result then is that you come into an area, you feel like, oh wow, this place is full of bears. Eventually the bears wear down. You can then search around, look around, not being threatened or roughed up. But if you were hunting bears for their hides or something, then you're actually moving. Usually you move around different hunting zones. Oh, here's bears over here. Okay, I've worn them out over here. And you end up kind of hunting in a more reasonable pattern.
Yeah.
Same thing if you're looking for specific bad guys because you're trying to collect items they drop or pursue a specific quest where you want to actually get your research on darkspawn up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you might go darkspawn hunting for a while because then you permanently do more damage against them from that point on.
Exactly. Alright, so it looks like we've found some dead soldiers here, which is what we've been trying to find. And there's some things to check out here.
Looks like the bandits are camped further along the beach.
Okay. Alright. So we've found some more information about this particular quest chain.
Our men were murdered by a group called the Blades of Hessarian. It seems there's a way to challenge their leader.
Naming themselves after the sword that killed Andraste. Ambitious.
They have traditions. These men were just following a code. If the Inquisition can win their loyalty, we could steer them on a better path.
He's so
Blackwall.
inspiring.
He is,
He's
isn't
so
he?
inspiring.
Do you want to talk about the options that we have with this quest now?
Yeah, sure. If you read through quickly took a look at the text there, you can see that these guys, like Blackwall says, they do actually have a code, and he points out that you could steer them. So if you look at the quest tracker on the right side of the screen, you notice it has an optional task. Now, finding the bandits and dealing with them, I think you're making your way over to their headquarters now.
Yeah.
We could barge in there, kill them, wipe them out, no problem. Or if we wanted to, we'd have to craft a very specific amulet. And doing so is the kind of thing where you engage your Inquisition's crafters. You have to find Deep Stalker Hide and Serpent Stone, which means you have to go hunting for a while, because we don't actually have any of those right now. But once you've done so, you can then take the quest on a different path. And I think we're going to do guns blazing, just charge in. But the nice thing is that it does create an alternate route. And one of the things we did want to get back to with Inquisition was the sense that, while some quests are just simple, like, okay, that's where the bad guys are, or find the thing, that there are some where you actually have opportunities where you can do better, right?
Yes.
You can do well or even better. And in the case of turning these guys to my side, if you can pull that off, which is pretty challenging, they'll end up working for you.
Yep.
Right? And it's a very different way to approach that quest.
So that's the bandit camp down there. You can see they're a very defensive position.
A palisade.
Yes, indeed. But, I mean, look at, like, you can go all around here. I mean, this is an amazing experience to be able to bring people into such an open world version of the Dragon Age universe. So it's so exciting to be able to have that.
Well, yeah, and big thing for us was, of course, to make sure that the stuff that we saw as central to Dragon Age still worked in an open world context. Nice slide.
That was a nice slide.
Except
nice
you really hurt yourself, so you may need a potion now.
Yeah.
But anyway, those were some mad rails. You just ground my syrup.
So now that he took a pretty heavy fall damage there, can you tell us a little bit about how the health system works in Dragon Age?
Yeah, absolutely. So Inquisition in specific has the idea of persistent damage. When your character is hurt, they remain hurt. However, at any point you can go back to one of your Inquisition camps. You can also fast travel back to them, just warp right back there, and once you do so, you will rest. Resting not only heals up your character, but if you notice, we have our potions across the bottom of the screen.
Down here.
We have 7 healing potions with us. That's kind of 2 per party member. We could carry more.
And I got some Antivan Fire.
Oh, nice.
I bought the recipe and then crafted some
Antivan
stuff.
Fire is awesome. It's part of our area denial mechanics, right? Throw a big patch of flame that enemies don't want to be in.
No.
So again, as to health remains, you notice Blackwall isn't healing up. what will happen, actually, we have a bug in this build, oh no, it wouldn't be on this build, is that based on your difficulty, characters will heal up to a minimum at the end of combat, but after that, it's up to you to match their health. So, we've added a bunch of new systems. Alchemy allows you to do everything from regen potions to a thrown grenade that can heal an area, to your own healing potions, which are party-wide.
What about my favorite, the jar of bees?
I don't think we have the
I don't
bees
have
on
jar
us.
of bees in this particular
Too bad.
build. Sorry, mate.
Too bad.
Nuts.
Okay.
So Cam's going to enter stealth. We're going to heal Blackwall because, of course, if he's in there
Yep.
acting as support, then we don't want to do that.
Exactly, and I might get a barrier on my party as well. Oops. Whoa.
Zoomed in a little closer.
Yep.
All right, so the barrier will catch an area, heal them up. Barriers do decay over time. They're not kind of the I win button. Though,
Exactly.
again, further into the game, you're able to further specialize your characters. You showed off some of the basic kind of talent trees. There's also specialist trees, which allow you to get better barriers, or you can focus on more debilitation to your enemies, and so on, based on how your characters are built.
Now, Blackwall's also used the War Horn, which is cool. It's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yep.
Very neat.
That guy's frozen, and you just got a shatter,
Yeah.
which is a cross-class combo, essentially being able to hit a disabled enemy with a massive blow, so you do triple-double damage, that kind of thing. And, of course, has the huge knockdown, takes him out of the fight for a little bit. Immensely satisfying.
It is. I think after this fight, Mike, do you want to take a play? Have a
Sure,
bit of
yeah.
play? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright. Alright,
So this leaves us just outside of the compound. You want me to go in and try and tackle it?
You can do it.
I'll
Yep.
see what I can do.
Alright, sorry guys, I'm just going to swap
Head
a little bit.
switch.
Ow.
Easy, Cameron.
Yeah, I just
Easy.
hit my... Oh, you got a big head.
I have an enormous head. It's true. Yeah.
Through the magic that is production,
Alright, there we
they
go.
did not see this magical transfer.
They just
They didn't see
heard
me
it.
smack my
They did.
face with it.
We really should have muted.
That would have been great. Oh, it doesn't
You
matter.
know what? This is what I love about Twitch. It's so raw.
Mhm.
It's unfettered. Okay, we're going in. All right. Let's see. There's TACCam, a little mouse wheel action. All right, what have I got to work with here? Now, one thing, I don't know if we even talked about this last time we talked about PC. There is keyboard quick commands for almost
We
everything.
never did. No.
Yeah, so I'm just using F1 through F4 here to swap between the different characters.
That's cool.
Makes it very nice. Again, I do have direct command. I can also let their AI just go. But we'll go through. I'm a little rusty on this control scheme, but I think we should be good. Okay, step
Let's take a
one
look
for
around.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Take a look around. So I have full control over my camera, as Cameron pointed out. I can scope the battlefield, see what's going on. Let's see what we have here. Archer, Archer. Okay, those
I normally
two
take out
are a
archers.
problem. Yeah, they're high damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This guy... It's a bug. We shouldn't have... His name should not be Archer. He has a giant shield.
Yeah.
Ah, and there would be
Nabari.
the ringer. This is why scouting can really pay off.
Yeah.
Take a look at what else you're facing.
And then that leader there, just want to hold right with him.
Yeah.
I think he's an elite.
Yeah, he's... yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's going to be tough.
He is tough.
But,
yeah.
but really? Really?
It
I
is a
can
pretty
take
cool
him.
axe.
I can
And as a
take him.
dwarf, I think we need to get that axe.
Yeah,